Hello everybody, this is Stephen Howson, this is Full Time Devils. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Suf and John Shin, and we are going to be talking about Manchester United versus Swansea this weekend in the Premier League. And the first thing we're going to talk about is giddiness. Because some people, not me, because I'm obviously level-headed, I didn't go bananas and say but the parade on tomorrow's transfers today last night, I didn't do that. Some people are getting massively carried away after our first victory of the season and think that we are now going to win the lot. John, where do you stand? Are we winning it all?
I need to agree with you there for once. It's kind of crazy to see a lot of these people on Twitter going nuts and going bananas about how Manchester United is going to go take everything. I think it's way too early in the season. Obviously, I'm sure these people have heard it by now. It's only one game. You don't want to be adding unnecessary pressure, not only to yourself, but to the team and the squad. But with that being said, there are lots of positives to take. That performance was absolutely fantastic. You know there's quality on that pitch now. You know the level of swagger is obviously bound to be there. So we just need to, keep our head up, carry it game by game, and I think we will be going forward with some positivity. Honestly, It's been a while since I've started the season with this much excitement. With that being said, I think you were all right, Steve. We need to really stay level-headed and make sure we're not getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to start thinking of what's possible instead of like what's the worst that could happen for a change, and I think that is nice to do. Suf, do you think people are getting carried away, or do you think there's something in actually getting swept up in the moment sometimes?
I think, to be honest with you, I don't blame the people for getting too carried away because we've been pretty average for the past 3 seasons. Under Van Gaal and obviously Mourinho. I think the last time we actually won the opening game
was David Moyes, wasn't it?
Exactly, it was Swansea away. I think you've got to bear in mind, as much as the result was amazing and it was really good to see the performance, it was against a pretty ordinary West Ham team and their midfield was pretty lacklustre. I think the positives obviously were seeing Matic, Pogba and Lukaku standing out, especially Matic. He's going to prove to be key for us this season. But I think echoing John, on your point about sort of the fact that it's a long season, we've got to take it game by game. We've made the best start possible, so let's just try and continue this and just be a bit more pragmatic and optimistic at the same time.
What was the best thing about the game at the weekend for you?
For me, I think just seeing Pogba in a more advanced role, the freedom that he was given, letting him and I think Matic being there, allowing him to stretch his legs. But I think for me, the main highlight was just seeing Matic in his first half performance, especially, was I think absolutely fantastic, and I think he's set a standard now, maybe to his own detriment of what we should be expecting for the rest of the season. But the confidence, and we actually looked menacing as a team as well, and I think he was giving a lot of the foundation of that to allow Pogba and Mata to sort of be a bit more advanced and not really be too worried about coming back defensively.
John, best thing about the game at weekend for you?
I mean, a lot of people's obviously gonna say and Pogba and Matic, and you have to say that they were fantastic, especially Matic in particular. I know Statman Dave has a quite fond likeness towards Nemanja Matic, and how he even went on as to say that he was going to be the signing of the season potentially. And I can see where Dave's coming from. I think he is fantastic in that midfield. I do not recall him having such a sort of a dribbling presence. He was able to harry midfielders and sort of take that ball on the half turn and just play the ball diagonal, go forward, and it was just such a quick sort of turn of play that forced West Ham back. And before they knew it, they themselves had 11 men behind the ball. But one thing in particular that I like to address in the forward line was the sort of aggression between Mkhitaryan, Mata, and Rashford to sort of get the ball to Lukaku. And at times I was kind of getting annoyed because you can see Lukaku always, every single time, one of the wingers or Mkhitaryan in particular, or whoever it was interchanging, had the ball. You can see Lukaku always just kind of like throwing his hands and saying, look, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And at times it's annoying, but it was nice to see that because you can see Lukaku's hungry. You can see he's getting himself in the right positions. And that's the sort of aggression that you need to see in the front line. I felt like we were sort of missing that sort of the combative approach in the front line. And I thought that was also something very nice to see.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's good to see, and I definitely think that it's something that we're working on, is to get the ball to the forwards faster. A real fast transition is what we've seen from United right through pre-season. Ander Herrera didn't play at weekend. Now, obviously, some of the giddy ones was like he's obviously getting sold. That's it, he's gone. Do you think he starts this game against Swansea, and do you think there's a style of game that's going to suit Ander Herrera's stuff?
Yeah, I think he should start this game. I think personally, he's probably a more suited midfield partner for Pogba than Mata was in the game against West Ham. I think he can provide a lot more stability alongside Matic, freeing up Pogba 10 times more and a lot more than he was against West Ham. So I think the beauty of our midfield is that I think it's the strongest in the league now with the addition of Matic. It's also got so much depth and so much dynamism, and I think that's going to be key towards having a sort of successful title challenge. And I think Ander Herrera, Nemanja Matic and Paul Pogba, for me, should always be the starting midfield trio, really. And obviously, you've got your likes of Carrick who can deputise, and Fellaini for certain games, Mkhitaryan, Mata, etc. But yeah, I think Herrera is key. I think he'll definitely get his time on the pitch during the course of the season as well.
John, it's been a while since we could say that we've got the best midfield in the league. I certainly think that. I thought Mkhitaryan's performances at the back end of pre-season and the first game of the season means that he's making himself undroppable, isn't he? Where does Ander Herrera fit in this 11 if he's going to come into it?
I think Ander Herrera, first of all, has the quality to force himself in. But with that being said, I don't see Jose Mourinho tweaking his 11 just yet. First of all, nothing seems to be going wrong. Obviously, it's one game. But with that in mind, I don't see Jose Mourinho tweaking it around. And I think his reasoning as to selecting Matic and Pogba and having somebody who is a little bit more attacking minded in Mkhitaryan is not only do you get versatility from Mkhitaryan in terms of his ability to sort of get himself in between the lines, get himself on the flanks, ready for a cross or whatever it may be. I think Herrera I think Matic and Pogba and the style that they play provides Jose Mourinho with the option of being able to win that midfield battle with just two. And what I mean by that is whenever Matic or Pogba is with the ball, usually back in the days when we sort of allowed ourselves to sort of invite opposition to come and press us, it was hard for us to get that transition from the middle third to the final third. But now what you see is you get the ball in the midfield when we win that midfield battle with Pogba and with Matic and obviously even with Mata and et cetera contributing. As soon as we win that ball, we're able to turn it and go forward immediately. The transition and the counterattacking play is the quality's there to be had. And I think that's going to be a key factor in pushing opposition back and preventing them from coming all out guns blazing when it comes to pressing. So with the likes of Liverpool, for example, who likes to play in that pressing style, like Tottenham, who like to play in that pressing style, I think this sort of approach with Jose Mourinho playing Pogba and Matic with Mkhitaryan up front is going to be an absolutely crucial sort of style of play in terms of finessing our opposition.
I like it.
I think Herrera's going to have a hard time with that.
It's a nice balance too. I think there's some qualities between the two of them. Got to come to the comments, but before I do, I've just remembered it's A-Levels results day today, isn't it? So you've made the right choice already today by tuning in to watch Full Time Devils. But if you've completely cocked it up, don't worry about it. Go out and get wasted. And if you've absolutely smashed it, don't worry about it. Go and get wasted. Listen, today you're going to get wasted no matter what the crack. So tomorrow is Friday. Have a lie-in. Go and get wasted. Enjoy your overall results night. Well done to everyone if you've done well. And don't worry about it if you didn't. So some of the comments, first one we got to is Flea90. Whiteboard guys should feature more often. I think that's you, Mr. John. Hero Pogba says, watching FTD from Holland, Rotterdam. We've had some good nights in Rotterdam, haven't we? Beautiful. Nice to have you. Mickey M says, we lost to Sweden in 2014, but hang on. We lost to Swansea, not Sweden. I was a bit confused there. But beat them in 2013, Spurs in 2015 and Bournemouth in 2016. Yeah, we have had some good opening fixtures. But yes, we could do with sticking Swansea away. They've had a bit of I think in the last 6 games they beat us 3 times, so we definitely need to start sticking some over Swansea at the moment. And without Sigurdsson, that looks a bit more likely. Reece says, I love the drive to get forward in the attacking line and the controlling midfield. I totally agree, mate. That drive to get forward is reminiscent of early 90s United. It's absolutely fantastic. But what I want to know is, Suf, what is your starting 11 for this game?
See, I think John mentioned he doesn't think Mourinho's going to change his starting lineup, but I was a bit disappointed to not see Victor Lindelof given a bit of an opportunity to start against West Ham. So I'm going to start off with a similar sort of starting lineup as the other day. David De Gea across the back line, Tony Valencia at right back, with Lindelof by in central midfield and Blind at left back. I think the midfield, Matic holding, Herrera and Pogba, bring Herrera in. And then across the forward line, we've got Mkhitaryan, Lukaku, and Martial on the left. I think, although Rashford was good, I think Martial, when he came on, looked hungry. So why not give him a chance?
I like the 4-3-3. I don't think he's dropping Phil Jones after that performance at weekend. I've got to give a shout out to Nick from West Ham Fan TV, though, who basically won the season. got 11 out of 11 last week of the West Ham team. Unbelievable techers. Statman Dave's on 7. McCullough is on 7. So someone gets 8 to go straight into the lead on this one. John, what's your 11?
I just gotta say, Adam McCullough, I'm coming for you this season. Last season, he sort of ousted me out towards the end of the season, but I'm gonna win this damn competition this
John,
season.
we had 54 matches, and Adam was in 77 previews, so of course he beat.
Ooh, that's a little too much heat right there. I ain't trying to fire that many shots. Well, all right, I'm gonna go straight into my 11. I'm gonna go David De Gea in goal. I'm gonna go back four: Daley Blind, Eric Bailly, Phil Jones, Antonio Valencia. I thought the back four was solid in the performance against West Ham. I got the midfield too: Pogba, Matic with Mkhitaryan sitting up front, and I've switched up our flanks a little bit. I went Martial left and I went Rashford right, and the only reasoning behind that is I think Jose Mourinho is going to want to stretch Swansea a little bit more. They've obviously lost Sigurdsson, and I know we're going to touch up on that a little bit, but I think with Martial and Rashford, you're going to have a lot more aggression as opposed to Mata. He's got the creativity and he's got the flicks and the here and with the give and goes and whatnot. But I think Martial, Rashford on the flanks with Lukaku up front.
Yeah, I like it. I'm torn myself on whether I think we'll see 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, because on one hand I think the way you can deploy a 3 with Herrera and with Matic can be quite defensive, and I just feel like Mourinho's going to play something with a bit more bite at home. I think that's away from home. I just think that's the way he works, isn't he? He's definitely going to try and look after result 4 first. So they've lost Sigurdsson. Llorente, who is probably their main threat, is injured. They have got Tammy Abraham. Who else do we need to be looking out for? What's going to turn us over? Because they had a great start under Paul Clement after he came in January. What do you reckon for Swansea? Who do we need to be looking out for, Suf?
To be honest with you, I was going to, before this game, before this preview, it was like Sigurdsson would probably be the main man because he always seems to make them tick. Everything comes through him, but now that he's gone, I personally don't think there's much danger posed by Swansea, to be honest with you. I know they've got a few here and there, but no offence to Swansea fans, I think you're going to be pretty rubbish this season, and I can't see you being much of a threat to us. I say that quite confidently, and I hope I don't have egg on my face later on. But yeah, they've been a bit of a bogey team for us. But I think with the loss of Sigurdsson, that's going to be crucial for this game, and I think it's going to be a detriment to them for the rest of the season as well, I think.
John, who are we looking out for?
I think Swansea should have made the sale of Sigurdsson a little earlier so that they can make a little bit of additions to the squad. But with that being said, Sigurdsson's gone, Llorente's injured, Ki Sung-young, who was a pivotal part of that squad, is out of the picture now almost. I didn't see Leroy Fer doing too well last season. Same for Andre Ayew. Maybe at times. I don't really see no disrespect to Swansea fans, but I don't really see the quality in that squad to give us any sort of trouble. But with that being said, we are playing away, and results can go awry and results can go sour in a matter of seconds or minutes. So we need to keep our composure and make sure we win that midfield battle and just get the goals banging.
What I will say is you need to be watching out for Tammy Abraham. Do not underestimate this kid. He's absolutely mustard. Score prediction, John?
I'm going to go 2-0 United. I think it's going to be a little bit more conservative than West Ham, but I think we're going to get the goals.
So, score prediction? I think
something similar, 3-0 away. We conceded there last season, but our defensive performance against West Ham, coupled with the confidence, I think we're gonna do them 3-0. Yeah.
I'm going to say 2-0 as well, John. How about that? Everybody going for a nice, easy win. 0-0 incoming. Right, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to subscribe because there's about 20-30% who watch every single video who aren't subscribed, so stop being shy. We don't bite. Press that subscribe button if you are subscribed. Ring the bell. It's easy. Thank you guys for tuning in. Get your questions, comments. Who do you think we should be looking out for? How bad are Swansea likely to be without Sigurdsson, who was clearly their best player, and Llorente, who is their other best player? Is this going to be a walk in the park for United, or has it got 0-0 egg on our face written all over this one? Get your comments in below. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks to these guys. Go and give them a follow on Twitter. We'll see you in a bit.